Another episode of Open Straw Podcast. Man, we are moving right along. We at number 25. So we are 5 teams in right now, y'all. We are moving right along. And that number 25 team, like I told you on that last episode, it's a team in Texas. Let's do process of elimination. We already did Houston. That means it only leaves what team left? San Antonio Spurs or the Dallas Mavericks. It's not Dallas. So I'm telling you it's the San Antonio Spurs. So early on in this, in our whole Open Stride NBA preview with me and FaZe, I said one thing that at the beginning, I don't know if many of y'all caught or not. I said, I don't believe the OKC Thunder have the worst roster in the NBA. I believe another team has a worse roster, but I said, but because of their coach cachet, I have them higher, and we are now here. I was talking about the San Antonio Spurs. So I believe the San Antonio Spurs have the worst overall roster in the whole NBA. But because of Coach Popovich being one of the greatest coaches, if not the greatest coaches in some people's eyes, I know LeBron James called Pop the greatest coach of all time. So that's a lot. That's big praise from a big person. So I'm not sure what y'all have Pop, but for him, he's up there all time, and that's the only reason I have this team so high up on this chart because I believe they have the worst roster in NBA. So let's just break it down. Last season they went 39 and 20, 33 and 20 and 39. Missed the playoffs, almost got into the play-in tournament, but fell out of it. The players they picked up Zach Collins with a 3-year, $22 million deal. They bought in Thad Young and they bought in not really much. They lost one big player they lost is DeMar DeRozan. Sign and trade. They sent him to Chicago and he got paid to be play in Chicago. So now they don't really have any. Let me see how I can put this.
Wings.
They don't have any player on their roster that I can say will start on the championship team. They barely have any player on their roster that will be a good rotational piece on a championship team. That's how bad they are. I mean, what's his name? DeJounte Murray. DeJounte Murray may be the only guy that can be a good rotational piece on the championship. Thad Young, maybe in his heyday, definitely. Today, I don't know, but that's really it. I mean, they got Derek White. He's a good piece off the bench that can put up buckets, but he's not a guaranteed starter or good rotation piece on the championship. So that's how bad they roster is. Like they have nobody on their team that can guarantee start on the championship team, and they barely have any players that can be a good rotational piece on the championship team. But the great coach Popovich can make lemonade out of lemons, turn water into wine, and we just giving him praise for how great he is, saying that he'll get this team to at least this record with the less talent he has. This honestly, if we being honest, I think
Pop Ben Simmons should go.
I think Pop would do wonders with Ben Simmons if we're being honest.
This is it. I know we've been talking about Ben Simmons in a lot of episodes. This is a place for Ben Simmons. He wants to be the best player on the team. Check. You'll be the best player on the team for sure. You put the Hall of Fame coach, and he's gonna hold you accountable. So you got to be ready. But he'll make you a better player. He'll put you in situations that you you want the ball in your hands. He adjusts the offense to you. This would be a good place for him. He wouldn't win a lot, but he'll develop.
I think he win pretty much. He won't win a lot, but he'll win a decent amount with Popovich. That's an interesting take. I didn't expect you to say that. I know Ben Simmons been in talking conversations in our last 3 episodes. Houston, Sacramento, and now Spurs, all destinations that he's rumored to go to. So that's why he came up. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at that. Go ahead and ask your question. Do you know anybody that's a San Antonio Spurs fan?
One. I do know one. But he's from Texas, so he claims San Antonio Spurs. His name is Tony. So Tony, if you're listening, I give you full credit because
I know a few. I know a few. Skip Bayless is a San Antonio Spurs fan.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Skip Bayless is a San Antonio Spurs fan, but I know a few, not a lot, but I know a handful of people that are Spurs fans. They kind of lost a lot of favor when Duncan retired and they lost Kawhi, but I know a few. I know a decent amount. But and also we got to give it to you again. You know, you're the draft expert here. And this is the player I feel like was a reach in the draft. For me and you did our draft recap, but I'm gonna throw it to you and let you know who did the San Antonio Spurs take at number 12.
Bro, I can't remember his name. He's a guard though, and
Joshua Primo.
Thank you. And he was early. He was early. No one expected him to go that early lottery. Like they expected him in the first round, but it was a weird pick because they already had Lonnie Walker. They already had Derek White there, and Derek White was supposed to be their starting shooting guard or Lonnie Walker, depending on which direction they want to go on the team. And they drafted another one who was raw and looked really raw in summer league as well too. So that's a stretch pick. They tend to do this and make it work somehow. Always, like this is what they do. So while it doesn't surprise me the Spurs or something like this, it does surprise me how early he got picked in the draft. So we'll see. I don't expect to see too much rotation time for him this year. If it is, that means they're playing Lonnie Walker more at the 3 because DeRozan is gone. So it's just a weird pickup for right now. Another situation where it's like they drafted a player who's young. I think he's the youngest player in the draft, just too early. He should have been a later first round pick. But I could be wrong on this one again as well.
I agree. I feel, right after we finished recording, my stance was I felt like he was taken too early. Now that we here, I know we give Pop a lot of praise, but if we being honest, a lot of the draft picks that he has taken, we thought were going to be guys that pop. A lot of them haven't yet. Like Lonnie Walker has not been a guy that just popped. And I remember when Pop took him, everybody was like, "Oh, Pop got a steal. Pop going to turn him to a star." And he hasn't been a guy that popped like that yet. DeJounte Murray is another one that he took that. A lot of people was like, "Oh yeah, Pop gonna make him yada yada yada." So we're gonna see what he does with Joshua Primo. It's gonna be an interesting situation for him to go to, but overall, I feel like they have the worst roster and starting lineup in the whole NBA. They getting the respect they got just because of Popovich. But this just shows how having a franchise leader type player like Tim Duncan can take the ease off your duties as a head coach. And when Tim Duncan retired and Popovich was crying, I know he deep down he was crying because he knew Tim Duncan was leaving. But I know even deeper down he was crying because he like, dog, we about to suck. Dog, we about to be sorry as hell now that Tim Duncan is like, Pop was like, he was crying, talking about, man, thank you for so much of the stuff, all the leeway you gave me, you let me yell at you and not say nothing back, all the coaching you did on the court, off the court, and all that. He even brought Tim Duncan back to be an assistant coach. That's how much he was missing.
Left though. He stepped away again.
Yeah, he left. I know. I say he left, but he still brought him back because that's how much he was missing him. It was like, man, like he was getting a dose of reality because he went through a smooth transition. He had David Robinson, then they tanked to get Tim Duncan, and now they had Tim Duncan for the next 15, 20 years, and they won 5 championships. And it's even that just shows even the best coaches needs talent. Like, even the best coach in the NBA, like whoever you think the best coach ever is, Pat Riley, Phil Jackson, Larry Brown, even college coaches, Coach K, Coach Williams, anybody that you can think of, as good of a coach as they are, as much as they can make a lemonade out of lemons, they need talent too. They can't do something out of nothing. They need some kind of talent. So it's just once you give them that talent, they go take that talent to the next level. Because you got teams out here that has talent but can't, like imagine if Pop had Karl Anthony Towns. He would not be losing right now.
Well, I think I said Ben Simmons would be a good player for them.
Perfect exactly. Player. He would not be losing. If he had Karl Anthony Towns, he would not be losing right now. But it's like, that just shows you how good of a coach he is. He needs talent to win, but once he gets that talent, that's when he takes that talent to the next level and bring out of whatever that's in you, he bring it out of you. So yeah, man. Gotta wish Pop the best, but yeah, it's gonna be tough. In your opinion, do you think they should just full tank mode, tank for Ched?
Basically full tank mode. Look at the roster; they're in tank mode already.
I know that, but do you think they should go for it? I mean, it was rumors that the Spurs went full tank mode to get Tim Duncan. They did it quietly. Like teams like the Spurs, they have so much. They had so much aura around them, so much respect around them that people don't even look at them as a team that would go tank. Like tanking is looked at something that's just like, oh, how could you tank? That's for the poor. But like the Spurs have so much aura around them. Even if they tank, people won't even make a noise about it. They just be like, oh, the Spurs lost again. They tried their hardest, but they just can't win. But deep down, they tanking. You know what I mean?
I mean, if they end up getting Chet, is worth it. I mean, that's the player. That's the perfect player for their system. Chet is ideal for how Popovich plays, and we don't know how long Popovich is going to be there, but he's there now. If they have someone like Chet, it'd be perfect. That to kind of touch up on that Zach Collins pickup, that was a lofty contract for someone that cannot stay healthy at all, like at all. They're banking on potential with Zach Collins, but should they go tank mode? They already are. Just go ahead and go for Chet. It will benefit you guys in the long run. You need a good power forward or center, however you want to play him, to replace what you lost a few years ago in Tim. So yeah, just go for him. Aim for it. It's not going to win too many games this year.
Okay. Well, we're not gonna be up on the Spurs any much longer, man. I love Popovich. He's one of my favorite coaches all time. My favorite coach all time is actually Larry Brown, if we want to be honest. But I do like Popovich. He's one of my favorite all time. Top 2, top 3, top 5 for sure. But he's definitely up there. So I just got one question for you, my man, Mr. Faze. Question for you, man. And you kind of hinted at it just now. Should Popovich retire?
Not now, but he
No?
should have already. I think he should have, but now, no. I mean, unless he feels like it's time for them to go full rebuild mode and let's just clean the house completely and it's time to get a new coach there, maybe. But my selfish basketball side is saying I enjoy what he brings to the table and I don't want him to leave yet. But he's getting to that point where it probably should be coming to an end soon. I think that after their championships they won and Tim went and when Ginobili went and even when Tony Parker went to Charlotte, it should have been like, all right, this is the end of my era as well too. Let's pass the torch to Becky Hammonds because she's next in line anyway. So,
do you think Becky could be that next head coach for them?
Absolutely. I think he's grooming her right now. I think he's getting her ready for it. And maybe when he feels confident enough to give the torch to her, yeah, why not?
It'd be interesting to see. Like Monique said, I like to see it. So
hey, I think it's time. We know she's been in interviews, so we're getting closer to that point. It's coming. It's gonna be here sooner or later.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely gonna have a women's coach. It's long overdue, so we definitely gonna have a women's coach soon. It's just gonna be who's gonna be that one GM, that one owner to finally pull that trigger on that hiring a woman coach. And I think Becky is a perfect candidate to be that next woman up. But it's plenty of women out there that can step in. That just like Becky's not the only one. It's not like one of Becky, one of one. There's plenty of women out there that can step in and have a bigger role on the NBA team if coaches and GMs and front offices just gave them a chance. So we'll definitely see how it goes going forward. But that's it for the San Antonio Spurs. We're not gonna beat up on them much longer, man. Like I said, I don't know what FaZe think, but I think they have the worst roster in the NBA. But Popovich is they saving grace. But if I was them, I would tank and just try to get the top draft pick and draft the top draft pick, groom Becky on how to manage a top franchise player, and go ahead and retire and ride off to the sunset and let Becky go ahead and take that organization on to the next level. That's the ideal situation I would think.
Absolutely. Go get Chet. Tank for Chet. They need it. Again, go get Ben Simmons too. Yeah, Chet and Ben Simmons.
They right back in the thick of things.
Hey, that's all. Hey, 2 things. All you gotta do: get Chet, trade for Ben. You'll be right where you need to be.
Yeah, man. But not if they trade their draft picks to get Ben.
You're right. So figure that out. That's their job, not ours.
But yeah, man, that's it for us. Thank y'all for tuning in, and we're gonna go on to the next team. And that next team is an interesting team. Only thing I will say about this next team is that they have had a representation in every episode up to this point. That's all I'm gonna say. They had a representation in every episode up to this point. It's on you to figure that out. But stay tuned for the next team. It's gonna be team number 24. We're moving right along, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Peace.